Hello children. Today for class 5 English we will start with our next chapter, that is lesson 9. Tenali paints a horse. This story is given in the form of a play. A play is a drama where different roles are played by different characters of the play. This is a story from the court of King Krishnadev of Vijayanagar, and Tenali Raman, commonly known as Tenali Rama, was a poet and a jester at the court. Jester is or say was historically an entertainer during the medieval age. They are performers who entertain common people at fairs and town markets. But Tenali Raman was famous for his wit. Wit means wisdom and intelligence. The characters of the play are Raja Krishnadev, Tenali Raman, and 4 courtiers. Courtier 1, courtier 2, third courtier and the fourth courtier. One day in the court, the king and most of his courtiers were impressed with the paintings made by an artist, and he was showing his paintings in the court. But there is one person who is displeased, means unhappy. So, this is the scene of the play, and now the play starts where the Raja says and appreciates the artist of making or for making such a beautiful painting. The artist drew the village scene, and Raja was so impressed that he offered him a bag of gold and told him to stay at his court and make more beautiful paintings. And the artist was also very happy to get permission to paint in Raja's kingdom. He addresses the Raja as Your Highness. He is very much glad to get such an opportunity. But Tenali interrupts in between and says, I don't think they are such good paintings at all. So, Tenali always shows his intelligence and wit in between when something is going on. Whenever he does this, there is a good reason or say a good point which is very much useful. So then the Raja says, How can you say that? I think they are perfectly lovely. On that, Tenali asks a question that where is the other side of these two men? You can only see the right side. And where is the face of that cow? See, children, in that picture. Yes, hearing this, Raja is little bit angry on Tenali. And so he says, What an ignorant fool you are! Everything cannot be painted. You must imagine the bits that are missing. Raja is explaining to Tenali, but clever Tenali, he takes a bet that he can paint better than this, if he also had the paints. So now Raja bet him with a bag of gold that Tenali cannot paint. Raja even gave him paints and also a month leave from the court. That is, by the end of the month, Tenali should bring a painting that is at least half good than the ones they have seen. And if he does this, Tenali will be titled as King of Artists. Tenali agreed to it. So the courtiers, they smile and sniggers. That is, laugh unkindly, as they know Tenali cannot paint at all. And Tenali walks out of the court angrily. Now, these courtiers were jealous. So one of the courtiers said to Raja that you have made a wonderful bet, Raja. Tenali thinks he is the smartest person in the world, while the second courtier wanted Tenali to get out of this situation. And Raja was also knowing somewhere that Tenali Rama is a clever man and he shall win the bet. Now a month is over. The courtiers are waiting eagerly for Tenali to bring his painting. They are smiling and whispering with each other. Whispering means to speak softly or with a low sound. So again, all are in the court, and Raja asks what they have to do today. The first courtier replies that today is the day there is there when Tenali Raman has to show his painting. While second courtier says that he has lost his mind these days, means he has lost his track in painting. And the third courtier is giving some type of mocking statement that his painting is so good and so he is not even able to show us all. Raja is saying that now it's time for his lunch, and still Tenali did not come. So he has already lost the bet and the bag of gold as well. While the fourth courtier is also not in favor of Tenali. So he says that it's not fair, Raja. Tenali already wasted the time of court, and as he has lost the bet, he should pay a penalty to the court with a bag of gold. And the first courtier agrees with this. Third courtier says, finally he has come and he brought his painting, but it is covered with cloth. So Tenali comes with two men carrying a painting, and when he removes the cloth from the painting, there was nothing but an empty canvas with few curved strokes. Strokes means lines here and there. Strokes of black on the right hand side and few green lines at the bottom below it. And now Tenali started explaining his painting. As he said, first, good afternoon, sir. See what a horse he had drawn. It is so magnificent. Magnificent means, in Hindi we can say it as Adbhut, Behad Khubsurat, very beautiful, black stallion with a white star on his forehead. Stallion is an adult male horse, and actually there is no such horse in the world who is having a star on its forehead. But Tainali is explaining about the beautiful horse in much exaggerated way. But Raja looks at the painting and asks him, "What is this? There is no painting, no horse, no such beautiful painting. There is nothing." As if he was making a fool. The courtiers were also laughing at him, while the Raja was confused. So Tainali then says, "You are the one who told me that we had to use our imagination when we look at the painting. So Raja, just imagine that the rest of the horse is grazing on some healthy and juicy green grass, lush green grass. As you can see the edge of its tail in that corner of the canvas. So, finally, King Krishnadevaraya has lost in his bet because he himself told Tenali that everything cannot be painted on the canvas. We have to use our imagination. So, the way Tenali explained his painting is much more beautiful than the painting made by the artist earlier. Tenali uses his wit and intelligence and also used his king's advice. Raja gave him his prize, that is, a bag of gold, and says Tenali is the cleverest man in his kingdom. Children, here we complete one of the humorous story of Tenali Raman. Hope you must have understood the story. Read the chapter from the textbook properly. Go through the meanings given below there. Thank you.